moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing Sound Art, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
Come alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With Sound Art, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Sound Art is elegantly hidden behind a high-grade, textured canvas wrap, bringing together the best of sound and art. This innovative design allows for a truly invisible, high-fidelity sound experience without bulky speakers. For licensors and other businesses, we are capable of producing thousands of units per day.
We're using the highest quality materials to give you the best product available in the market. Everywhere you look, there's always art. What I like so much about Sound Art, that you could just pair it and play.
Ansia, your art never sounded so good.
The Charlotte Motor Speedway Race Complex is home to facilities aplenty, including but not limited to the Charlotte Roval, the 4-lane Z-Max Dragway, and the dirt track at Charlotte. But today, it's the famed 1.5-mile Speedway, where we'll be racing here tonight for the Boom Confetti 200. Welcome to the OMSRL XFinity Series, sponsored by Tucson Sound Art. My name is Nolan Rempel, and I'm here to bring you all of the coverage, start to finish, in what should be a very exciting race here tonight. Let's take a rundown of how your standings are shaking on up as we get set to enter yet another race. And at the top of the scoring boards, it will be none other than Matt Rucci, still with that one race win, but not present here tonight. Michael Kenner only 13 points behind. Anthony Rusatti still sits third, and with the top 10 only separated by 33 points, it is still all to play for up at the top of the scoring pylons. Colby Wells, with his latest win, propels himself to 15th place. But that is not after getting a 20-point penalty after his controversial win just 2 weeks ago over at Bristol. So it should be a relatively interesting race to see how the TI Racing and Badger Racing lineups will play together here tonight. Looking further on down into the team standings, Badger Racing still holds the top. All-American Motorsports, though, not far behind. Only 12 points separate your top two teams, with TI Racing only 22 back. And Dirty South Racing with 65 points behind them as well, so it is looking like it'll still be a 3-horse race for that team's championship as we continue to get things all set and done for tonight's race. Qualifying currently going to be underway here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, where Sean Kaiser finds himself on top of the boards. And one of the first drivers up, and one of the last drivers trying to get himself a lap logged as well, will be that of Kyle Munson, currently throwing his way around the racetrack with just over a minute remaining in his JC Concepts Ford Mustang out of turn number 4. Currently sitting 19th with no time logged, and that will only be good enough, though, for 15th place. Justin Wilson will be the last driver to put down a qualifying time. It is Bass Pro Shops number 48 Chevrolet Camaro. Just putting down his first qualifying lap now, and that is going to be good enough for 17th. Still has 36 seconds, so he'll be able to tick this last one away at the tip of the buzzer, but he's going to get loose in turn number 2, which is going to invalidate his final lap. So 20 seconds left on the clock, and my goodness, is it ever close to the top end of the timing boards. Sean Kaiser has the top spot, but one Brady Weileman, a newcomer to the series just this week, is looking set to try to put himself up on the front row of the grid here tonight, and we'll see what the rookie will be able to do for himself as we get further into the evening. So, qualifying is now complete, and as these drivers start to line them on up, let's take a rundown of how things will shake up for your Tucson Sound Art starting grid for tonight's running of that good old Boom Confetti 200. Kaiser's on pole position with Brady Weileman just 0.06 of a second off. Robert Peterson is down in third with Michael Kenner in fourth. Jonathan Baker will start fifth with Barrett Morton at sixth. Grant Peterson sits in seventh with one Colby Wells down in eighth. You got yourself the likes of Spencer Ray and Hunter Thrower to round out the top 10 on road number 5 with Jacob Noyes and Nate Brody down in 12. Moving on down through the order, Kevin Cordall and Michael DeWalt in 13th and 14th. Kyle Munson and Nathaniel Ames on row number 8. Row 9 holds Justin Wilson and Frank Flores with Stephen Purcell and Ryan Dingler rounding out the top 20. For there you got Robert Pattengale, Jason Green, Matt LaValle, and Carson Hill to run out tonight's 24-car field from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. So all drivers, or almost all drivers, gridded up and ready to go. Just waiting on a key few before we can get tonight's proceedings fully underway. And I have to say, with the exciting show that these guys have been putting on in races past, we are in for what could be an absolute barn burner of a show from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It really is the first normal-ish sort of racetrack at 1.5 miles of length for the quad oval, but you never know what could come from a cookie-cutter race such as this one. You've had 3 wildly different racetracks so far throughout the last the opening 3 weeks of the season. Throw one more here into the mix. Pace car starts to leave with field in tow, and Weileman almost getting up and into the outside wall in the 0.55 machine. Of course, Brady Weileman going to be making his first start of his OMSRL career, and he will be clicking things in for the Kenner Baker Racing crew. We'll see what he'll be able to make for himself here tonight as he gets set to try to see if he can throw himself up and potentially even take a win in his first ever season. He's not off to a bad start, just 6 thousandths behind pole sitter Sean Kaiser. Of course, fuel going to be very, very close here tonight, as estimated around 40 to 43 laps or so, give or take how much you can save. Stage break all the way up at lap 45, so expect to see some green flag pit stops throughout the course of this opening stage. We'll talk about all of that, though, in just a little while. For now, off of turn number 4, the pace car pulls it down and in. Want to thank all of our viewers for joining us for more OMSRL racing action. Into the restart zone, Sean Kaiser gets this race underway. Good start so far for Weileman as he's going to put himself up on point, and that is exactly where you want to see yourself getting yourself sorted early on. So it could be a very interesting race then as tonight moves along, and who knows what will be coming on up for us then throughout the rest of this race here tonight as Weileman gets away well. Sean Kaiser falling back to third. It's going to be the 97 car of Robert Peterson finding himself up in second place. Michael Kenner wants to sneak underneath as well and go to third as Kaiser getting muscled up and out of the podium position. So not a good start for your pole sitter tonight as Sean Kaiser looks like he's going to be slipping a bit further back as the night goes along. Jonathan Baker sitting right in behind as the Kenner Baker Racing crew for the first time all season long in full force, and they're looking to see if they can take it to the big guns here tonight. Looking low as Michael Kenner clears Sean Kaiser for third. The top two breaking away, looking at Nate Brody and the number one TIA Racing Machine. Looking left, looking right, trying to find a way through. All the while, Barrett Morton just sits tucked in line, trying to see if he can snake his way through as well. You do have battles elsewhere throughout this field, including a little bit further down the order with the likes of Hunter Thrower. He's currently side by side, or he was side by side with Grant Peterson. They're going to get themselves single filed out. How about Jacob Noyes trying to defend against Kyle Munson? And here comes Colby Wales, last week's winner, looking for the inside as Munson gets tight. Wales not able to find a hole, though. He'll have to sit back and wait just a little bit, try again another time. Kaiser goes defensive against Bear Morton as Hunter Thrower looks up top. Can he clear Bear Morton into turn 3? No, he can. Morton back to the inside in his Wax Marina Chevrolet, and can he clear Thrower off of turn 4? Doesn't look like it. Hunter Thrower still has the nose in there. Grant Peterson looking to capitalize on Thrower being muscled out of line as well as Morton will clear this time out of turns 1 and 2. But look at Thrower able to work the outside lane to his advantage. You can get such a massive pull with the momentum from that outside line. You just have to know where to put your car. He clearly knows where to put his car. Michael DeWalt looks to the inside at Kevin Cordall sliding up from the apron though. Gives the upper hand to Kevin Cordall as Spencer Ray slides up in front as well. Cordall going to find himself all safe and sound for the time being. Up in front, Robert Peterson trying to fend off Michael Kenner. This is the fight for second place for the time being, you still got your race leader up in front of this thing as well, as you can see them starting to duke it out amongst themselves for the race lead. To the inside of turn 1 was Robert Peterson. Michael Kenner took it high, and he will pick off second place. Now that makes it a Kenner Baker Racing 1-2, exactly where the 98 car wants to see his team as Weileman holds that race lead for now. Still on, though, in the fights way deep in the field, including this one here. This is all for 6th place with Morton, Thrower, Peterson, Kaiser, Ray, and Cordall all in the mix. So this really an 8-car scrap at the moment, all fighting out for superiority amongst each other, with Spencer Ray in the thick of this as well, as he's going to look to the inside of Kevin Cordall and snake his way by. That was down the back straightaway, and so far looking very, very strong for this small little grouping here as we continue to dice our way throughout this field. Peterson looks to the inside of Hunter Thrower. Able to keep it pinned to the bottom, though. So now that we're a little ways into this race, obviously The big concern for a lot of these drivers is going to be figuring out where do you want to go when it comes to the pit strategy. It's almost a guaranteed that you're going to have to stop at least once unless you can do a heck of a lot of saving on fuel. So do you pit early or do you decide to pit late and hope that you can make a run for it? As Spencer Ray easily skirts to the outside of Sean Kaiser and makes the move. DeWalt even gets a little antsy. He'll look to the inside of Cordall, slide it up, has to jam on the binders. Will Colby Wells try to find the hole? He'll make an effort, but can't get the nose up the inside. Little game of defense going on here. These battles further down the order, and gonna ride on board with Colby Wells in his TI Racing number 1 car, or number 45, as he continues to try to work his way around the DeWalt machine of Michael DeWalt just up the road. Colby Wells has been slowly finding him sliding further and further back as this race has gone along, and he is looking to try to see if he can regain lost ground. The good news is he's got a lot of time to do so. This is the longest race of the season. No point in trying to find yourself in a battle early on when you have the time to get that back later on. Kevin Cordall, you just saw him get a little bit close there to that inside wall. And he just hit the outside wall that last time by out of turn number 2. Sean Kaiser will look to the inside there. We're going to look back to see if we can see exactly what happened here to one Kevin Cordall, as he had found himself getting a bit close and personal with the outside wall. Watch this here. Just scrapes it out of turn number 2. Colby Wells did a good job, though, to jam on the binders and avoid that, but it'll allow Michael DeWalt to easily get through. This really is one of the closest battles you got in the field currently, as Sean Kaiser gets up and past Grant Peterson, or is at least going to make an effort on it. See, from about 9th place on up, we do have a bit of a breakaway at this point throughout this field. Hunter Thrower getting a bit close there with Spencer Ray out of turn 2, as Morton will also look to the inside of the 36 car, Jonathan Baker. It's not to say you don't have battles going on up and down throughout the field. Deeper on, as Sean Kaiser now finds himself slipping a bit further back, and a lot of the guys starting to lose pace. Kevin Cordall among them, as he has found himself dropping down and out. So technical difficulties for Kevin Cordall, it would seem. Find him currently not on the racetrack, and I expect that will be confirmed ejected before long. 2 drivers, by the way, did not make starts in this race. Those drivers are Carson Hill and Ryan Dingler. They were due to start. Well, sorry, Carson Hill is already +1 somehow, even though he hasn't actually turned a lap. Ryan Dingler was due to start in 20th, though, and he does not find himself up in the field anymore either. This is the battle for 14th with Ames, Green, Wilson, LaValle, Flores, and Noyes all in one long line currently. This is deeper in the field, if you couldn't tell. So you do have the battles going on all throughout the field. It's not exclusive just to the top grouping. There's something to look at no matter where you look in a field like this with the level of competition that you get in the OMSRL. Colby Wells still struggling to work his way up through the field as he'll get past the high point Supra of Grant Peterson. Munson looks low as well. Is he going to commit? Doesn't look like it. Peterson's going to shut the door. He won't be able to stick one nose in there this time around. Battle start to pick up for second place as Brady Weileman has actually lost the lead to teammate Michael Kenner. We will get a look on this pass for the race lead. Backing it up a ways, Kenner had caught Weileman for the race lead some time ago out of turn number 2. This is on lap 17. Looks to the inside and very easy pass. Weileman didn't fight that one too hard, it looks like. And executes that one out of turn number 4 down in towards turn 1. Now Weileman's under fire by Robert Peterson as well as Nate Brody for the second position on the racetrack. And this is where it starts to get a little bit more hectic as drivers start to get a little bit more antsy. We are getting down to it. We're halfway through stage 1. 23 laps down as Nate Brody and Brady Weileman still scrapping it out as Robert Peterson lost third, promoting Brody to a podium position. Guys like Bear Morton still wanting to move up ground as well. Hunter Thrower pulling a little bit of a late block there, but it won't matter so much. Morton will go way up high, and he'll only lose a lot of ground there as a result in that battle. So Bear Morton starting to slip a little bit further off pace as Hunter Thrower and will continue to try to close up to the Ghost Vending Machine of Spencer Ray, and Jacob Noyes going to be the first driver to make a trip down to pit road. Down with some right front damage, it would look like, so probably going to try to take this moment here to get all of that damage sorted, and trouble back straight away for Michael DeWalt, who is into the inside wall, and he's into the inside wall hard, it would look like, and the caution flag will fly for the first time on the night. Going to get a look at the replay here of what happened to Michael DeWalt when he found himself slamming into the inside wall. Just clips the outside. Oh, he made contact with Colby Wells and slam into the inside wall and crunch. That's not how you want to see that go down. So DeWalt he hits the wall, comes down, gets into Wells, who had nowhere to go. What a save from Colby Wells, though. But Michael DeWalt, though, not at all the way he wanted to have that all go down for him. Let's try to find Colby Wells right on board, and watch this. Hang on tight. I think he clipped the left rear on the inside wall a little bit there, but hey, could have been a heck of a lot worse. So pit stops underway for the first time today, and we are under caution for the first time today. So we are going to take a quick step away. We'll be back with the rest of stage 1 in just a few moments. The OMSRL XFinity Series is sponsored by Tucson Sound Art. Your art has never sounded so good. Still under the yellow flag here for the first time under the Boom Confetti 200, and it is Robert Peterson with Spencer Ray, Hunter Thoroughbear, Morton, Kaiser, and Munson. To round out the top 5. Let's take a quick rundown of the top 15 at the moment. And and see who all came down to pit. So you see the top 10 all elected to stay out, whereas 11th on back, they pitted. So you got your top 10 who are going to be on 27-lap older tires, which does kind of bring up another interesting point that usually these guys only have 4 tire sets in a race. There was discussion about if they wanted to add one more. I'm not sure if that decision was actually implemented, though. So it does appear as though these guys are going to be finding themselves with a bit of an interesting run when it comes to tires later on tonight. Some drivers might even find themselves running out, whereas the guys in the top 10, they're probably just wanting to conserve a little bit. And we'll see what comes of the race. Lights are out aboard the pace car. We'll be going green with 16 laps left to go in the opening stage of the night. So far, the drivers up the most spots are Jason Green and Robert Pattengale, but there is asterisks on those since they did not come down to pit. The driver that has lost the most, Brady Weileman, started up in second place. Jacob Noyes is now a lap down as well. He is also down 10 positions from where he started earlier today. Should be an interesting restart then as we get set to see what a restart here around the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It looks like pace car is going to be down and in. Leave it in the hands of Robert Peterson into the Toyota restart zone. We're back underway. A really early launch, and there's a lot of trouble deeper in the field. Drivers like Colby Wells having a whole host of problems off of the restart. We'll take a look back, see if we can pick out what on earth happened on the restart here for this one. Everybody was super disconjointed. Oh, Kaiser spun the tires, and he actually got hooked. So Sean Kaiser has been wrecked as a result of all of this. And we got a second look at this one. Caution did not come out. We stay under green flag conditions. Yeah, just got punted there by Colby Wells. No other way to put it. Kaiser slipped back up. No caution, and we keep it green. You see that number 24 car all the way down at the back of the field, just exited turn number 2 while the leaders are out of turn number 4 already. Jason Green going up against Nate Brody. He'll lose out. Now he has to fight Jonathan Baker. They almost make contact. These are all guys that were on old rubber just trying to cycle themselves back through to the front. So this is where it's going to get a little bit more hectic in this race. Brody to the inside of Kenner, makes short work of the Kenner Baker Racing Ford Mustang of Michael Kenner. Outside pole sitter Brady Weileman still trying to fend off Jason Green as well, and he'll cycle his way back up into 10th as well. Battle is on for the race lead. Spencer Ray gonna look to the outside. Robert Peterson hangs on the bottom though. Ray looks to go for the over-under into 3 and 4, and he's going to make that one work. Crossover attempt goes Spencer Ray's way. Peterson leads at the stripe, and Nate Brody is right in the thick of this as well, wanting to find a way through. Peterson officially loses the lead with Nate Brody really pressuring the back of Spencer Ray. This is going to get a little bit more hectic here as we get deeper and deeper into the race. And 3 leaders within 2 laps. Nate Brody is going to find himself now up on point. And Brody pulling away, already up by about a second as Robert Peterson looks to the inside of Spencer Ray. 10 laps to go, this time by in stage number 1 as we continue to get deeper and deeper into tonight's race. Hunter Thrower also being put under pressure by Kyle Munson as Munson will now find himself up and through. Man, look at Weileman taking it to the outside line there of Grant Peterson. Got such a great launch out of turn number 2. That really shows you the speed difference from the air here looking down upon Charlotte Motor Speedway. A look to the inside. Jonathan Baker makes the move, and he'll pull the trigger on Grant Peterson, who will now slip back and into 10th place. Jason Green also right behind, wanted to find a hole. Under 10 laps remaining as of right now, and we continue to work our way deeper and deeper into the opening stage as now Jason Green will look to the inside of Grant Peterson, and the High Point Supra looks like he's going to be losing another one here. Well, able to pinch him in, and it ends up he's going to be able to hold on to that spot, but of course, as always, big question is going to be how long. Battle for second currently on screen with Peterson, Ray, Morton, Kenner, and Munson all in a train of 5 at the moment from 2nd to 6th. Peterson's been looking high for the last couple of laps, and he's going to try something. I thought he was going to try for an outside pass. Opted against it. He's instead going to go low out of the out of turn number 2, but not quite able to get himself fully up the inside of Spencer Ray. That's instead going to stack up Barrett Morton in the Wax Marina number 9. There goes Kenner. Wanted to make something work. He'll look to the inside. Peterson once again trying for an outside pass into turns 1 and 2. 5 laps to go, and this time Peterson's holding it. Kenner clears Morton, and it's a drag race between Ray and Peterson down the backstretch. Barrett Morton also looking back to the inside, not able to find a hole. And Nate Brody already 5.4 seconds clear of the rest of the field. Suffice it to say, he is the one that you've got to be chasing if you want to go and get yourself a stage win here, and nobody at this point is chasing them. They're chasing each other as Spencer Ray having to once again fend off Kenner. Morton also in the mix, and Peterson is clear. Ray still working the bottom lane, but it's looking like the benefits from that inside line are very minimal so far in this race. Morton up to the top shelf. Spencer Ray holding on for the moment. He'll tuck in line here, all the way back in 5th. Kenner wants to party while all this is going on. Jason Green wants to get up into the last point scoring position for stage number 1, as does drivers like Robert Pattengale and Grant Peterson, who are also getting a little bit more antsy. I think Green just connected with the outside wall. Oh, watch out as Pattengale really washes up from the bottom lane, but he's able to fend off both Peterson and Green through 3 and 4, and all the while his shake and bake teammate of Frank Flores is right behind them as well. Final lap, meanwhile, has begun in stage number 1, and Nate Brody will take the opening stage win from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. That'll leave Michael Kenner to pick up 2nd, Peterson 3rd, Ray 4th, with Munson in 5th. As the rest of the top 10 cycles on through. Colby Wells, though, making an interesting choice to swing into pit road. We'll see where that will lead for the TI Racing number 45 machine. Might be trying to see if he can cycle through to the race lead. Not sure if that's actually going to work out for him, though. But stage 1 is, in fact, complete here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're going to take a quick step away. We'll be back with more in the Boom Confetti 200 in just a moment.
SoundArt introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of 2 products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. SoundArt ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
The Boom Confetti 200 is brought to you by Tucson SoundArt. Your art never sounded so good. Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway, where we are still under your Stage 1 caution, and what an exciting first stage it was. Still lots of racing to be had, but we do have your Stage 1 winner, Nate Brody, standing by to talk to us for the time being. Well, Nate, you went out there and you sure made it look easy in those last few moments of that stage. You got that lead up to almost 6 seconds, made it look easy.
Yeah, the beginning of the stage for the first 20 laps until the caution, I felt really good with the car. I was up to, I think, 3rd or 4th by the time the caution came out. And then, yeah, I came in, I took tires. I expected a lot more people too, so I was a little surprised when I was the only one. And yeah, it was pretty easy pickings. And then I was just kind of on maximum tire save from there on, so we can get these to the next pit stop.
Well, you mentioned, of course, the fact that you had taken tires. That does mean you'll have one less set for later in the race, obviously. The tire set limit was a slight concern for some drivers. Are you at all worried about what the tire strategy for you will look like later on in the game here?
I'm not super concerned right now. I saved these tires pretty well, so and I should be able to take tires next 2 stops. So I'm pretty confident in what we got under me.
Well, I guess before I let you go, then, anybody you'd like to shout out for that TI Racing #1 then?
Yeah, I'd like to thank obviously TI Racing and Chris Lewis for giving me this ride, Asheville Rooftop Bar Tours, and my teammates Colby Wells, Jack Bolch, and Brendan Alphin.
Thank you for taking the time to join me here tonight then, Nate. Best of luck throughout the rest of Stage 2.
Yep, thank you.
CI Racing's Nate Brody joining us from his car after he won the opening stage by over 6 seconds. So it was not even close, to put it quite mildly. Seems like just about everybody, though, has gotten themselves sorted on the same pit strategy nowadays, though, as Kyle Munson will be making a second trip down to pit road, including Pattengill, Peterson, and Flores and Ames from the looks of things. So interestingly enough, the entire Shake and Bake crew coming down for a second hit. And Spencer Ray having a bit of an interesting moment there as he found himself re-entering pit road. Meanwhile, on the racetrack, they're getting stacked up and doubled up and ready to go back racing. Top 20 on your screen are all on the lead lap. Colby Wells, Kevin Cordall, both laps down, and Carson Hill and Ryan Dingler both have not made starts and will not be making starts for the rest of the night, it would seem. The drivers still wriggling around a little bit, trying to get some more heat into the tires. Looking about 73 degrees Fahrenheit, only 3 degrees hotter than that on the track, so it is a relatively cold track, meaning that it's difficult to get the tires up to temperature, meaning it could be a slippery surface for the first couple laps of this run. Let's see what that'll mean for the rest of the drivers as we get set to go back racing at America's home for motorsports. Pace cars down in, lots of drivers on the inside, not so much on the outside. Into the Toyota restart zone, we're back underway. Kenner finds a hole, immediately jumps between Brady Weileman and Jonathan Baker, and is going to go on the offensive against Nate Brody. Brody not going to find himself in a huge hole here, as he finds himself immediately overtaken for the race lead on the first lap. Back to green flag racing, and Kenner trying to hang on. Now here comes Weileman looking to the outside. Kenner still hanging on with the bottom. Watch it up as he twitches left and right. And it's a battle for the teammates for the race lead at the moment as we thunder down into turn number 3. Weileman clears. Kenner slots himself into second place. Jonathan Baker pulling Nate Brody back. And we're single filed out for just about the entire running order once again as Purcell continues to slowly climb his way through the order. Just got past Peterson, looking to get around Baker. Looks like he is struggling somewhat to try to now work his way back up through the field. Once you get into it and you get the tires fully up to temp, it really does make it really, really difficult to try to make something happen. He's going to move too high trying to go for an outside pass. Peterson saw that, tried to capitalize in his high point super, not able to make it happen though. He'll slot his way back in line. All the while, Kenner and Weileman continue to fight amongst themselves for the race lead, but it's looking fairly solid for now as Weileman is looking content to just sit behind. I mean, the Kenner Baker Racing crew has a 1-2-3 going for them at the moment. And wouldn't it be something for them to get themselves a 1-2-3 finish here tonight? Currently, the Kenner Baker Racing crew is sitting all the way 8th place in the standings in the Teams Championship, only 66 points, 168 back from Badger Racing's 234. And while they wouldn't even come close to being able to catch Badger Racing this race, they would be able to rack up a good number of points and potentially at least passing Consistency Racing for 7th place. Matt LaValle going up against Nate Brody and Sean Kaiser, and Kaiser's DuPont Chevrolet doing good work on the inside line there. Well, you see that back end has been beaten in a fair bit. Not sure where the damage would have come from, but Kaiser is still doing a good job to just stick with it as LaValle did scrape the outside wall just a smidge that last time by. And Nate Brody, as mentioned before, just trying to stop the bleed in the moment. He is fending off 2 cars at once. LaValle he is going to get clear. Sean Kaiser finds the hole, and LaValle looking left, looking right, trying to furiously find a way through. He's into the wall again. And I think something tells me he might have just pulled a good old Alt F4. So LaValle going to be down and out of tonight's race as Weileman continues to try to close up on Michael Kenner. 67 down, 67 to go. I want to take a run down top to bottom of what your field is looking like so far as we continue to work our way through tonight's 134 200-mile race. Kenner, Weileman, and Baker make up the Kenner Baker Racing 1-2-3. Grant Peterson picks it up for Badger in 4th with Bear Morton in 5th. Hunter Thrower is in 6th. Munson is 7th. Finding it out with Stephen Purcell, who currently sits 8th. From there, you got Peterson in 9th with Jason Green down in 10th. Spencer Ray's in 11th with Sean Kaiser in 12th. Nate Brody sits in 13th with Justin Wilson in 14th. Robert Patgill is 15th. Frank Flores is 16th with Nathaniel Ames in 17th. Michael DeWald is in 18th with Jacob Noyes, the last driver on the lead lap, down in 19th place. Colby Wells sits 1 lap down. From there, you got Matt LaValle and Kevin Cordall marked as DNFs, and Carson Hill and Ryan Dinkler marked as DNSs. Trouble for Justin Wilson, slow down the front straightaway and entering turn number 3. Gonna get a look at this one, too wide through the dog leg and into the outside wall. That's why he was losing so much time so quickly. Oh, Spencer Ray and Jason Green getting together in a big way. Gonna get a look on board with this one. Looking at Jason Green. Spencer Ray's on his inside, washing up. Yeah, they definitely made some sort of contact there, but nobody got into the outside wall, so just a close call, nothing more. Got Purcell weaving left and right. Oh, he's way too deep, and Spencer Ray will say thank you very much. Sweeps through, makes an easy overtake. So fuel run, we know, is around 40-ish laps, give or take a few. I mean, we are just past halfway. As you just saw with the numbers through this latest fuel run. There are your top two still battling out amongst themselves for the race lead. It's a fluctuating gap, but it looks like this is how it's just going to sit for the time being. Looking forward into the next week, and we get set to slow it right back down again for what could be another very, very chaotic race similar to that of Bristol, although we hope not as many yellow flags. It will be Rockingham Speedway coming on up next for the RD Designs 130, and they get a 1-week break, during which I will be taking a trip over to the Great White North up in Alaska, although I don't think it'll be quite as snowy where I'm going. You got a straight shot through then all the way to the playoffs, including Chicagoland, Mid-Ohio, Darlington, Richmond, and Indianapolis, before you begin the chase-off. Closest three cars on track are these three right here. The DuPont Chevrolet, driven by Sean Kaiser. The Rooftop Designs Chevy, driven by Nate Brody. And then as well as that, Jason Green in his Xbox Series X Chevrolet. So a trio of Camaros. And Stefan Purcell having a moment. Where are you going, my fine little friend? Gonna get a look on this one. Did he just... what in the world? I'm gonna be honest. I'm clueless. I'm not quite sure what to make of that. Did he get loose? Take one more look here. Watch the wheel. Cranking it hard left. Lifts off. I wonder if he got distracted. Or potentially had a brief screen freeze or an input lag or something. Very weird incident there from Stefan Purcell on lap 73. I'm not quite sure what to make of that one. Peterson going up against Kyle Munson for the 5th place battle, and Munson not clear, can't go up there yet. Now you can. At this point, we really are at a sort of waiting game, so to speak. And I think a lot of the drivers are just trying to wait this fuel run out. If I'm correct, you can come in around lap 94, and it'll be close, but you could theoretically make it to the end from that 94, 95-ish. But the big thing is, I'm not so sure if a lot of these guys will actually be able to get to lap 90. McKenna's already rounding his 32nd lap. He might end up being a couple laps short and have to come down for a splash and dash. This is where it starts to get a little bit more tricky as the race goes along. So at this point, who knows what's going to end up happening. Peterson just got by Hunter Thrower. And for the time being, it is looking like just about all battles on the racetrack are about sorted, save for this one between Thrower and Peterson, which still waiting to see if this is going to go anywhere. Thrower keeps making these little looks in his Lowe's Chevrolet, but none of them ever tend to go anywhere. I think sooner or later he's going to have to try to force the issue here because he can't just sit behind Peterson forever in this race if he wants to end up making up a few solid points before the end of the night. So as we continue to wait for battles to get themselves sorted, why don't we go on board the view of these drivers, and we'll show you what it's like to run for a few laps here around the good old Charlotte Motor Speedway. Battle has really picked up now as Spencer Ray has now entered the fray. We continue to dice our way around for this four-way fight for the 6th position. Thrower trying to see if he can get his All-American Motorsports teammate Spencer Ray around with him. It's some All-American versus Badger for the time being. As the two lone Badger cars now going to put the All-American guys in a sandwich. Lap 92, and some drivers are now right on the cusp of what they can do. A lot of these guys are, I think, trying to save a bit of fuel just to get to that point where you can make it to the end on fuel, which I think is right about now. And sure enough, Justin Wilson is going to be in a pit road. So Wilson and Noyes will kick off the first bout of green flag pit stops as Thrower, Peterson, and Brody all going to be flying. Yeah, lock up there for Nate Brody as other drivers, including Jason Green, are also going to be coming on down into the lane. Going to see the 17th place driver, Nathaniel Ames, enter pit road, and here come the race leaders. So Peterson and Kenner both into pit road, and Peterson and Ray going to lead, or they're going to stay out as Kenner and Weileman are both into the lane. Oh, Kenner overshoots in a huge way. That's going to cost him a while, and Jonathan Baker, similar story. Both those drivers came flying in trying to maximize their pit stops. Didn't end up going their way, though. Baker almost lost it again on the exit of pit road as well after the fact. That was a close call. Ray, Pattengale, Flores all into pit road. Meanwhile, Peterson continuing to stay out. As Kenner passes him up, though, I think Peterson's going to be in this time by, and he will. Robert Peterson is marked in pit road. The other driver on the tracker tagging is Hunter Thrower, currently working his way around. They were battling each other for 6th. Here comes Thrower, and he has gotten around him easily. So Hunter Thrower going to be gapping Robert Peterson by a huge margin. And trouble for Robert Pattengale, is crashing into the pit barrels. Robert Pattengale stopped on the racetrack. This is not a caution yet. Now the caution flag will fly. So Pattengale will enter pit road, and the caution flag is out. I think that'll give Purcell the lucky dog as a result. Taking a look at this one, I think Pattengale was one of the few drivers that had yet to stop, or I think he had already stopped. Oh, just lost it and went face first into the barrels. That is not a pleasant thing to see at all. Man, you hate to see that. Robert Pattengale was having a half-decent night. But all of this is not so pleasant. Just lost it by himself on the cold rubber, and yeah, there's nothing you can do in that type of situation. Boy, I bet he's feeling some type of way right about now. Caution is out once again here for the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll be back in just a few moments with more and the last 40 or so laps from Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway. Still under this latest yellow flag brought out by none other than the number 33 car. Now a lap down as a result of this one, and a very unfortunate sight for Robert Pattengale as he found himself having a solid afternoon. And unfortunately, it's just the small little mistakes that tend to make it so things don't quite go your way. Robert, I'm going to try to tie you on up here. You got a copy with me up in the booth?
We're good, buddy. 10-4.
Well, it's a hard track, and I imagine even more so under cold tires. Why don't you walk us through what happened on that latest incident?
Yeah, I had a good run going up in that top 12, top 13, and had a really good pit stop and feeling good about myself. And he said, "Hey, I'm going to push this thing a little bit." Didn't let those tires warm up and came out of 4, and sure enough, bam! There's the end of the pit road.
Yeah, quite possibly the worst possible point to have lost the back end of the car, but you were having a solid night out there, and I think a lot of you and your teammates have shown that you do have some pace to be able to keep up with some of the bigger guys on out there. Do you reckon if you can get a good old lucky dog here, you might be able to get yourself back up on the lead lap? It might take a lot, but hey, anything's possible in this league, we found out.
Well, the way the late night's going, doesn't seem like we're having too many cautions, so I doubt I'll get that chance. But if so, I've got a car to get on the lead lap. I can get back in the top 12, maybe even a top 10 if I could get there.
What's your reaction to Charlotte Motor Speedway as a whole? Some people like it, some people hate it. A lot of people took provisionals. Where does it sit with you?
I like it. You just got to be patient, right? You got to know where your car's at and not use it up real early, right? A lot of people push real hard in the beginning and don't have anything left for the end. I'm one of those guys that tries to go steady all throughout, which gives me an opportunity to be there as the end start picking guys off.
Well, hopefully you'll find yourself with a solid night before things are over, and hopefully you'll be having even better results in the weeks following. Before I let you go, anybody you'd like to shout out for your Shake and Bake number 33?
Yeah, Shake and Bake team, and then Tucson Sound Art, right? So good racing, and thank you, Nolan, for putting on the broadcast.
Thank you for taking the time to join me, and hopefully you'll have some more luck next week.
10-4.
Always a pleasure to get a chance to talk to Robert Pattengale on the off chance. It's one of those opportunities. Doesn't present itself all too often, but hey, anything can be possible, as mentioned, in a race like this, and hopefully we'll be seeing Robert having some better luck throughout the course of the season. He's a great driver, definitely one of the cleanest guys you could possibly find out there. I know him personally, so it's definitely he's one of those guys that you feel bad for him whenever something like that happens. But hey, it's part of racing. Nobody's immune to mistakes. 33 laps to go when we take the green flag. We'll see how the field will handle a late race restart. Everybody from here able to make it to the end. A good launch from the Kenner Baker Racing 1, 2, and 3. Weileman from Baker from Kenner. And just behind them, Munson looking to the inside of Nate Brody, Robert Peterson, and Grant Peterson. Both battling amongst each other with Spencer Ray now in the fray as well. Tight as Nate Brody just finds a hole. He's going to get sideways, though. Flips the apron, washes up. Peterson gives him a bump down the back straightaway as Spencer Ray will try to snake to the inside and capitalize. Sean Kaiser in the thick of this as well, and I think Nate Brody getting a little bit crossed up, but he's able to survive it for the time being. Spencer Ray having a solid outing as well in his go spending number 6. He'll get to the inside of Nate Brody and try to wash up, but manages to keep it pinned to the bottom. Oh, Baker sideways is into the wall hard. Jonathan Baker up and over against the outside wall, sliding down while they crash in turn number 4. Kyle Munson gets collected. A tremendous crash in turn number 2. Caution out for the 4th time today. A wild ride for Jonathan Baker. We'll take a look at what happened to the number 36 car. This came out entering turn number 4 on lap 103, so we're about 1 lap early to the party here. Did he have help from Kyle Munson? It was a late block. All good for now, though. No contact. Right, he did get some help. Overcorrected, and that is a huge hit for Jonathan Baker, who went up and over. Huge, huge crash. Kyle Munson got kicked up into the air. Spencer Ray got involved. So did Nate Brody, Sean Kaiser. I think Grant Peterson might have just found a way to squeak through there. There's the hit to start it all off. You're going to watch as Baker overcorrects. He's going to slam the outside wall. You can see how much he got kicked. Peterson just got around that. And Grant Peterson did get a little bit of a helping hand in all that. Spencer Ray. Did Ray escape that? I don't think he did, but hey, in the off chance that we might have missed something big, it does not ever hurt to check. Definitely not. Definitely did not get around that one. One driver that did, though, was Robert Peterson. Watched it unfold from his angle. Holy cow. There's not a whole lot you can do from there. Also trouble for Frank Flores in the middle of all of this. We'll see what happened to the number 3 car. Oh, he just lost it all by himself. Might have been checking up for this whole thing. Slide sideways, and whoopsie daisy. On board with Baker, hang on. What a tough ride there, and I tell you what, that is just so unfortunate for the Kenner Baker Racing crew. They were having such a solid night. They absolutely did not deserve to have that come down the way it did. Very, very unfortunate, but The night's still young. Hopefully they'll find themselves with some more luck before the end of the night. Once again, yellow flag out on the Speedway. We'll be back in a few.
SoundArt introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of two products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. SoundArt ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
Coming to the end of our fourth caution on the night, and the Kennard Baker Racing trio has been narrowed down to 2, but the good news is Jonathan Baker did get himself a good old quick repair, so he does still have the chance to get back up there and rejoin his teammates up on the podium. Pace car is in. Can Weileman fend off a charging Thrower and Peterson duo behind them? Time to find out. We're back to green flag racing. Kenner up high. Hunter Thrower down low in second place. Behind, cars start to scramble. Nate Brody all over the shot as Jonathan Baker will look to try to pick up some spots and start to regain lost ground. .25 laps left to go as Munson will look for the inside of green. Hunter Thrower still stuck behind Michael Kenner, just can't find a way to get around him. All the while, Robert Peterson and Grant Peterson hanging around just behind him. Spencer Ray looking for the inside of Jason Green for turn number 1. Can he get the nose in? Looks like he can. So the Ghost Spenny Mustang going to get by the Xbox Chevrolet, or at least make an effort at it. Can't get there, though, and it's still a little bit of a hook there. Ray scrambles all the way down to the apron as Jacob Noyes is going to go up top to work with Green. Just in front of them, Nate Brody and Jonathan Baker looking to get around Sean Kaiser and Kyle Munson. Trouble! Nate Brody gets turned! Baker's wrecked again! We're crashing again in turn number 4, winding them up. The 30 car comes flying in, nowhere to go. Pangale's collected, and so is Michael DeWalt. Caution number 5, and once again, Jonathan Baker collected, and I think this time might be effectively out of the fight. Kyle Munson rear-ended Nate Brody there, and that is not what you want to end up seeing. We'll look at this one, start from the air, and we'll dissect it. A little punt to the left rear of Brody is all it took. Jacob Noyes got collected. I think Colby Wells might have just gotten a piece of that one. What a big shame, though, for all involved. We'll look at this again. Kaiser sees it happening, scrambles up top. He just manages to avoid the wreck. But the 30 car of Michael DeWalt just came flying in there, had no idea this. Did he have a clue this was happening? He's battling with Wells and Flores while all this is going down. You can see the wreck starting to develop up top. Comes around, sees the wreck, jams on the binders, and oh man. There was no slowing down for that wreck in time. He was way too close for that of ever to have worked. Good grief. Back under the caution flag, and my goodness. Two drivers I want to get a look at with that one. The first of those two will be none other than Frank Flores in his number 3 machine. As he sees this developing and starts to scramble down low, watch the 30 car. They're all sliding around and squeaks through on the bottom side, as opposed to Sean Kaiser, who will end up making the avoidance of this one on the top shelf. Just gets around and you can see the wreck developing behind him. Tough break for a lot of the drivers there. Weilerman and Kenner continue to maintain a top 2 here. While we're still up here and talking to, well, and under this caution period here, why don't we see if we can't dial up a couple of the other drivers in this field, and we will start things off, why not, with the number 97 car of Robert Peterson joining us on up here. Robert, this is Nolan in the broadcast booth. You got a copy from me?
I gotcha.
Well, it's been a tough run for you trying to get past the Kenner Baker Racing crews right in front of you. Put it shortly. What do you think you have to do to get it done?
Well, if we could get a good run in here, I might have a shot at them, but we'll probably be getting passed by the guys who just pit there. I got a little bit fresher tires than them just because I pit so late on the green flag cycle, but we'll see. They're pretty quick.
Are you currently trying to develop that plan with Grant Peterson, see if one of you can work on defense and one on offense?
Not really. We're just kind of bracing for whatever is about to happen here.
Fair enough. You take into account races like Bristol and Michigan, I think bracing is, a safe bet at this point. Thanks for taking the time to join us up here. Robert, before I let you go, anybody you'd like to shout out for your Badger Racing 97 Mustang?
Well, I'd like to shout out Matt Rucci missing the race tonight. Ryan Dingler having some technical difficulties missing as well. So it's just Grant and I representing Badger Racing here, even though I'm not really part of the, not officially part of the team, just an affiliate.
Well, representing you certainly are. Thank you for joining us on up here, and best of luck in the rest of the race.
I appreciate it, man. Have fun watching.
It's Robert Peterson joining us from third place up here in the booth. It's been a trying last few laps or so, and as is the case with most leagues, and in fact races in general on iRacing, late race cautions always make for some extra spicy excitement. As DeWalt works his way up into the field, and we'll leave it to Kenner and Weileman to take us back to green once more. Really early jump there from Brady Weilerman, Robert Peterson. Oh, trouble! Big crash, turn 1. Jason Green going around, and Baker's again collected. Oh, and Pattengale's drilled as well. Are you kidding me? Again? That's 3 in a row for Jonathan Baker. Holy cow, just what is going on at Charlotte? What even happened here? Oh, Kaiser tried for an outside move, just hooks Jason Green into the outside wall. My, oh my. And Jonathan Baker collected again. Up top, he scrambled low to avoid it. Got into Spencer Ray. He drilled Kaiser for a second time into the wall. And, man, what a shame again for Robert Pattengale. Will ride on board with Pattengale through all of this. Yeah, there is nothing you can do in that situation. I mean, it's always taught when you wreck, hold the brake. You didn't hold the brake. Some pit shenanigans going on here. Some drivers faking out, other drivers faking in. It's a very split bag at the moment as to who's all in at pit road and who opted to stay out. We'll look at Grant Peterson here. I wonder if Jonathan Baker is going to work his way back out to the racetrack or if he is going to find himself down and out. I mean, props to him. He has been really working on trying to get himself up into the mix, but I think by now, yep, as I thought, out of the race car. And honestly, at this point, I can't say I blame him. When you get wrecked 3 times in 15 laps, I'd be a little bit upset too. First yellow flag for Jonathan Baker came with this one when he found himself getting up and flying through the air. He was able to use the quick repair to recover from that one, but then for the second one, he was collected in this incident where he got into Dave Brody and Kyle Munson. He was able to more or less survive that one, though, with minimal damage, so he was able to kind of get himself gathered up for that one. Not for this one, though, where he just turns down into Spencer Ray, trying to avoid another wreck, and just gets into it for the 3rd time. All of that was just within about the last 15 minutes or so. It hurts. It hurts to see something like that, especially when the guy was having such a strong run and it just falls away from you like that. It's a waiting game at this point to see if we're going to be able to get our way down to the last few laps. I know Michigan International Speedway, we had a lot of cautions. We're right around 1 point with each other. Bristol was just all cautions, it seemed, for the most part. It was a very solid start of Charlotte, and even up until like the last 30-ish laps or so was pretty good. But after that, it's all really kind of kicked off, and I think a lot of the drivers are starting to get a little bit impatient. Nobody's really able to exercise some judgment on some moves. Everybody's trying to make all these passes up at once, because I think the mentality is starting to set in where if I don't make this pass right now, I'm not going to be able to later on. But to be honest, with how many cautions we're getting in the last little while at that rate, that might end up being the case. Well, we'll see if we can make it for the last 13 here this time by, as we continue to work our way deeper and deeper into the Boom Confetti 200. Brady Weilerman, once more, take us to green, buddy. Whoa, couple cars sliding out, and Wilson has just been put into the outside wall. So didn't take long for Calamity to strike. 3 wide, even behind them as Morton gets into it with Kyle Munson and Jonathan Baker, who has made his way back to the racetrack and is still on the lead lap of all things. So Jonathan Baker is still in this fight. He wants to see if he can at least get some kind of points if other people find themselves being taken out before the end of the race, which at the rate we've been going is a very, very high possibility. Wells is overtaken by Thrower, as Thrower will scramble down low. The TI Racing crew started to falter as once again Badger, All-American, and Kenner Baker look to dominate the top 5 in this race. Stefan Purcell looking for the top 5 to the inside. Oh, he's going to rear-end him. An attempt at the bump and run goes wrong, and that's going to let Peterson squeak up the inside, and he's going to slot himself up into 6th place. There was a shot and an effort, didn't go Purcell's way. He only ended up going backwards. But Wells is going to get moved in the quad oval this time by, and he is going to go through. Weilerman's under fire by his Kenner Baker Racing teammate as Michael Kenner looks to go down low into 1 and 2. He's able to pull alongside, but can he actually complete the pass in 3 and 4? Almost making contact. They're going to split lap traffic. Through the grass goes Michael Kenner, and he's going to go to the race lead. What on earth is going on as Michael Kenner is going to go to the point, but it's still side by side for the race lead. Contact! And Michael Kenner puts Brady Weilerman into the wall. The teammates come together as Brady Weilerman slams the outside wall, and Hunter Thrower is going to go to 2nd. Peterson to 3rd as Michael Kenner, with less than 10 to go, is into the race lead, but he had to do so by dooring his teammate into the outside wall. Watch this here as he scrambled through the infield grass and immediately washed his way back up the racetrack. And it's going to be ever so slight contact right there with his teammate that puts Weilerman into the outside wall. Kenner's lost the lead to Hunter Thrower. It was a pass down the back stretch out of turn number 2. Battle is on for the race lead. Kenner starting to falter as drivers with fresh rubber start to make a charge. Robert Peterson on the inside line. And Kenner trying to see if he can just hang on. 6 laps left to go. Time is starting to run out. Matt LaValle's in the pit road. Spencer Ray looking to get around Baron Morton. Just behind. Flores on the charge, looking for the inside of Weilerman. Ray can't make a move, but Flores absolutely can, and he absolutely will. To the inside of the 50 or the 055, and he will start to push up, but he can't quite get there. Meanwhile, Wells struggling to hang on against Morton, Ray, and Wilson, all putting them under fire at the same time. Wilson sliding the front end a little bit as he tries to approach Spencer Ray. Way down low was Nathaniel Ames on the backstretch. He just got around in a 3-wide pass. I'm almost certain of it. Watch this here to turn number 4 as Noyes went into the wall, and it was a 3-wide pass. 2 for 1 for Nathaniel Ames as he scrambled to the inside to get around both Noyes and Weilemer. Purcell can't get around Peterson. Wells looking for the inside line on Spencer Ray. With Wilson up top trying to make a run, but he can't quite get there. 2 to go, this time by. Less than 3 miles remaining in the 4th race of the Charlotte Motor Speedway. As this battle rages on, Hunter Thrower will take the white flag. Final lap from America's home for motorsports. Can anybody make a move in the gaggle? A block from Wilson on Nathaniel Ames. That might come to fruition. Out of turn 4, though, Hunter Thrower is going to take the race win of the Boom Confetti 200. Meanwhile, it's a drag race between Flores and Wilson. And Flores hangs on to 8th. For Hunter Thrower, though, out of Zebulon, North Carolina, it is a victory in his home state. And this is going to be one that Thrower can celebrate. He'll burn it down on the front straightaway. And as Thrower enjoys his hard-earned race win, we're going to take a look at your official post-race results for the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's Hunter Thrower with the race win in the Boom Confetti 200 with Grant Peterson in 2nd, Kenner in 3rd with Purcell in 4th, Robert Peterson is 5th, Spencer Ray was in 6th, Colby Wells sits 7th with Frank Flores in 8th. Justin Wilson was 9th, and Nathaniel Ames was in 10th to round out the top 10. Brady Weileman was in 11th, with J.C. Green in 12th. Kyle Munson was 13th. Jonathan Baker was in 14th. Dave Brody was in 15th, with the last car on the lead lap. From there, Jacob Noyes, Baron Morton, Michael DeWalt, and Robert Pattengale all finishing this race. with Sean Kaiser, Matt LaValle, Kevin Cordall, Ryan Dingler, and Carson Hill not making it to the checker flag. What a race that we had here tonight. So as Hunter Thrower is apparently still not quite done celebrating out there, he's going to take a Polish victory lap. Why don't we start to get a talk to some of the other drivers throughout this race, and we will start with third place finisher Michael Kenner finishing us out on the podium. And well, Michael, I imagine it wasn't the 1, 2, 3 that your team was hoping for, but at least you managed to finish up on the podium, so still a decent points haul overall for Kenner Baker Racing.
Yeah. I feel horrible with the incident that happened between me and Brady. I believe it was a little bit in that code, but I think we still would have made a little bit of contact. I think it definitely should have been us two for the win, but I made a mistake, washed up, killed him, put him in the wall. I feel horrible about that, but things just didn't fall in our lap tonight. None of us. We had the fastest 3 cars. I'm at a loss of words. I feel like me or Brady should have won, but I don't know. It's a tough loss.
You two certainly did a great job throughout the race on controlling the field. This race was certainly yours to lose, and it's such a big shame that it didn't go quite the way guys were hoping for. But once again, proving that you definitely have the pace to be race winners and championship contenders. Do you think you'll be able to regather some of that lost momentum from tonight and come back strong for Rockingham?
Yeah, Rockingham's a tricky track. It's definitely going to be a huge change from 1.5 miles to such a tight, skinny little track. We're gonna try and come out there. I'm good at short tracks, but Rockingham's just a different beast to tame. Hopefully, I'm hoping to just go out there and get a top 5 at the end of the day.
Well, a top 5, still a great points haul from you guys, so hopefully you'll be able to get yourself a top 5, or hopefully that ever-coveted 1-2 or a 1-2-3. You guys have proven that you definitely have the pace to be able to be a strong force. Before we let you go, anybody you'd like to shout out for that Kenner Baker Racing outfit?
Obviously, I want to shout out Brady. He came in here first race in the league, and he came out, ran 1-2 all race. And Jonathan, he had a tough end of the race there. He got damaged somewhere along the line right when the wreck that brought the caution after the long 40-lap run, and then it just went downhill from there for him. But yeah, I'd like to shout Jonathan and Brady out.
And thank you for taking time to join us here then tonight, Michael. It's tough luck today, but hey, there's always next week. Hopefully we'll be seeing you in a stronger position in Rockingham.
Yeah, thank you.
How's Michael Kenner from Kenner Baker Racing? We're going to continue to slowly work our way down through the podium, and we'll start by bringing up our second place finisher as we continue to work our way up. We'll give a chat here to one Grant Peterson. You end up taking the second place after a bit of a kerfuffle there from Kenner Baker Racing over a slight disagreement over who wanted to lead that race. How does it feel getting the second place in that type of fashion?
I do not deserve to even be in the top 10. I was dog water the whole night. This is surprising, but I'll take it. I mean, I'm off to a great start in this season, and this is only going to propel us forward throughout the rest of the regular playoffs, or regular season.
I was going to say, I don't think we have playoffs in this early on. You're getting ahead of yourself here.
I'm focused already. I'm already mentally prepared for the playoffs.
Well, you did still do a good job, but it seemed like All-American Motorsports was really wanting to harass you guys all day long, and it was one of their drivers that ended up taking the dub from you guys over there. So how does that feel? Does that only motivate you more to try harder for the next race?
Oh, yeah, I think it certainly does push ourselves even. I wish I would have came down pit road with him there and had something for him. I was contemplating it. I was thinking about it. I just about did it, and then I said, screw it, did it the next caution that we had, and that was the last yellow that we had, and tore through the field, but didn't have enough there at the end.
Well, hopefully you and Badger Racing will be back in full force once again for Rockingham for the Artist Designs 130 coming on up in just a week from now. As always, Grant, a pleasure to be able to talk to you. Before I let you go, anybody you would like to shout out for that Badger Racing Machine out of Altoona, Iowa?
I got to give a shout out to Robert Peterson, Kevin Cordell, and Ryan Dingler for the brief moment he was with us there tonight. Just kind of helped each other throughout the night. Sucks that Kevin, he had his issues, and same with Ryan, but Robert and I, we stayed in it throughout, and it was a Peterson Badger Racing deal towards the end there.
Thank you for joining us here tonight, then, Grant. Congratulations on the second place. We'll be seeing you next time.
Thank you.
And that'll move us on down to our final driver to give us a chat with here tonight. It's race winner Hunter Thrower. Hunter, I was starting to grow a bit concerned when I wrapped up the third place interview, and it's on our scenic cameras here, and out of stage left, I just see you just crossing in backwards, tire smoke and all. I was starting to be concerned I was going to have to give you an interview while you're still trying to do burnouts. How's it feel to win that? I take it that feels good?
Oh, yeah, it feels good always to win at your home track, but yeah, that was a tough race. I didn't feel like I had the fastest car all race, but All American Motorsports brought me a good Lowe's Chevy here tonight, and I'm just speechless.
It got a little bit wild over there in the last little while, and obviously you were able to pick up the race lead after a bit of an argument between the Kennebaker Racing guys over the race win. What was going through your minds when you saw one of those guys go slamming up into the outside wall?
I knew I had a chance because I was the furthest up the field with fresher tires, and I was right there because I came down pit road after everybody else did because I stayed out originally, and I had a gut feeling like I should have came in, and I'm glad it did, and I put those tires to work. But I was not expecting them to put each other in the wall, but I was expecting them to race hard. But yeah, that kind of threw the whole plan out of left field and split the middle, and I was just there. Faster tires.
So you're in the rare situation of actually having not one but two home state races. We moved from Charlotte over to Rockingham, also from North Carolina. I'm going to just ask it outright. Which one of your, I guess you could say, quote-unquote, home tracks do you like more?
That's a really tough. I can't pick between the two. I can't.
You're not giving me a lot of content to work with here, my friend.
If we're talking about my speed overall, I feel like I'm faster at Charlotte. I'm not as good saving tires at Rockingham, but Rockingham's a fun place. I'm looking forward to next week. I think we'll put on a good show, and we'll see what it brings.
Well, here's to hoping you'll be finding yourself potentially going back-to-back, or at the very least finishing up in the top 5. You've been very consistent with that all season long, and hey, Rockingham, it seems like a good place to go one more, once again, a home track. Before I let you go, then, anybody you'd like to shout out for that All-American Motorsports Machine out of Zebulon, North Carolina?
Yep, RD Designs for hooking me up with my sweet paint scheme, and All-American Motorsports for bringing this rockin' Chevy here tonight.
And thank you for taking the time to join us here tonight. Enjoy the smoky burnt rubber for breakfast, and we'll see you next week in Rockingham.
Thank you.
Well, that was Hunter Thrower then joining us up here from Victory Lane, and that is going to be a wrap then for us here tonight. Next time we go racing, it will be for the Rockingham Speedway for the RD Designs 130. We want to thank everybody for taking the time to join us. Want to once again thank Tucson Sound Art for sponsoring tonight's broadcast. All of this production would not be possible if it weren't for their support. Want to thank the drivers for taking the time to come on out here tonight and put on a good show for us. But most importantly of all, thank the viewers for tuning in for tonight's race. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week in Rockingham, North Carolina.
There are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing Sound Art, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
Come alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With sound art, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Sound art is elegantly hidden behind a high-grade textured canvas wrap, bringing together the best of sound and art. This innovative design allows for a truly invisible, high-fidelity sound experience without bulky speakers. For licensors and other businesses, we are capable of producing thousands of units per day.
We're using the highest quality materials to give you the best product available in the market. Everywhere you look, there's always art. What I like so much about sound art, that you could just pair it and play.
Ansia, your art never sounded so good.